What is up, viewers? Welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today we are going to be taking a look at this custom Lego Star Wars AT-TE walker. Of course, this is inspired from the Clone Wars. We've seen the walker itself in movies and TV shows. Now this is designed by David Buchholz. I'll leave his link to the Flickr down below. Definitely go check him out. He makes some pretty incredible MOCs. He's even making a custom dropship for this walker. Now for those of you who do want to build this walker for yourself and this model, and maybe even pick up the instructions, a link to brickvault.toys will be down below in the description. Huge thank you to the guys over at BrickVault for allowing David to send me his designs to use in my very own Anaxes MOC. Of course, if you guys aren't familiar with my Building Anaxes weekly series, definitely go ahead and subscribe and stay up to date with those videos. So a little bit of logistical information about the walker, what you get when you order it. Now the walker itself clocks in at about a little over 2,000 pieces, so it is quite a hefty build. Of course, this is not a normal Lego set, so when you do order the parts through EasyBuy or through your XML file on BrickLink or BrickOwl, of course, you'll have to sort through the parts. So it really is the only painstaking process about building the walker. However, what is really great about this specific build, especially if you buy it through BrickVault, you will of course get a PDF instruction manual that's very crystal clear, following each specific step. It makes the build process a lot easier and it goes a lot more smooth than you would think. So the build is super fun. I can't even describe to you how much fun I had building this thing. And I think the end product definitely speaks for itself. Obviously, one of the biggest things when it comes to choosing a design for a large-scale MOC is accuracy and just the build overall. And you can see all the incredible side details and just all this amazing stuff, which of course we'll get into review today. So for starters, I will go ahead and put a minifigure. This is actually the guy on the top turret, but I'll give you guys a quick scale of just how long this thing is. Actually, what's great about this specific model is it's pretty low to the ground, meaning that it's not going to be swayed over easily, but it is actually fairly long. It's definitely 3 or 4 dozen studs in length, probably even a little more. So it is a bit of a longer build, which I personally like. Again, it's not going to easily fall over or tip from side to side, so it's always a great plus. Now, each side of the walker does have 3 legs. You have one of the more hefty legs in the middle, and then we have 2 on either side. We have 1 in the front and then 1 in the back. Again, 3 on both sides of the walker. So 6 legs total. Obviously, this is pretty accurate to what it is like in the films, but it also does mean that the walker is going to be fairly sturdy. Now, I do want to point out really quickly and make a disclaimer that the front 2 legs of the walker were not working correctly for me. I think the parts that I ordered were either bent or something like that. There's a couple of rubber pieces actually inside these legs right here. So again, quick disclaimer, this is actually not how it's going to look in the final product, but there was an issue with the 2 front legs that I had to quickly fix. So if you do run into this problem when you're building it, just keep this in mind. Again, most likely this problem is a result of issued parts that I got from my orders being faulty. But so in total, the 6 legs, again, the 2 in the middle, which are obviously the bigger ones, the hefty ones, they do support the walker well. Now, I do want to also give another disclaimer that if you're going to be moving this walker, be very careful. Obviously, it is a custom model, so that does mean it doesn't have necessarily the integrity or the strength of a normal Lego set. Now, it is playable, don't get me wrong, but if you are, again, moving it from a table or moving it to a convention, please handle this gingerly. I don't want to say the walker legs are fragile, but they aren't necessarily invincible, so again, please handle it with care. Now, I did really quickly take off the panels because I wanted to show you exactly how these side panels connect. So here is a example. Here is the, I guess, the left side or right side of the walker panel. Basically, all you have to do is connect these 2 little 2x2 with the Technic pins into these holes right there. And it connects super easily. Of course, I'll get into the door feature in just a second, but I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a closer look as to the interior because, again, I think this is where the walker really does just excel and honestly takes all the other walkers. So here again, you can see those seats I was talking about, the 6 seats. So we have 12 seats total for at least the sitting down troopers between the front and the back. Here is the gunner. Again, here is also that panel. You can see the front turret and then the other seat. And there's also is a 1x2 slope that does have like control panel stuff pieces on there. Now, while we're in the front, also, I do want to let you know that the front cockpit, aside from looking just absolutely amazing, does come out like this. Here is a little bit of a closer up image of the cockpit. Obviously, we have the red pieces, which do give it a really nice aesthetic, and we do have seats for 2 of the drivers. Keep in mind, all I have are regular phase 2 troopers here. This is not accurate. I would, of course, have to have normal pilots, which I do have on the way. But again, we have some 1x2 cheese slopes that do have the control panel images, and all you have to do to put it back is just match it up with the little grooves inside. And it is a little difficult to do with one hand, but since I have a camera, but there you go. So it slides in super easily. But yes, so that's pretty much it for the front section. In the back here, we have what would resemble like a doorway between the front and the back section. Obviously with Lego, it's a little bit more difficult to actually have that functioning, especially when the spine is articulating. So we do have like a little makeshift door, which would resemble the door going between the front and the back sections. But the interior itself is just superb. Again, here are some more images and just, I guess, some closer up shots if that can help you gauge sort of what this interior looks like. Again, we have the 6-seated troopers, we have an officer there, and then the 2 gunners. So it does look absolutely fantastic. And then again, there is that door simulating the pathway between the front and the back sections. But the interior is absolutely stunning. One of the many reasons why I did end up going with this specific walker, but there is a better shot of the interior. Now let's go ahead and move on to just the general exterior of the walker and the rest of the panels and all that kind of stuff. Now let's go ahead and take a step back here and talk a little bit more about these legs. They are all technically interlocked. They have Technic bricks and Technic pins which do hold them. Now the design of this specific walker utilizes a lot of the light bluish gray round dishes. We have the 4x4 and the 6x6. I think this is a pretty standard and iconic look for all Star Wars walkers when it comes to the AT-TE and the AT-AT walker. I think that's a pretty standard design. And then they're all pretty much interlocked with some more Technic pieces, any variety, you name it. Technic bricks, Technic plates, Technic pins is all in this thing. Now the way this leg connects to the actual body of the walker is by the Technic pin, which also does have the grooves on it. Basically one side of the pin interlocks with this leg and the other side interlocks with the actual body. So it forms a really sturdy leg for you. Of course, the middle leg is going to be taking the brunt of the weight, so it's very important to have this specific leg be able to take a lot of weight on, which is definitely a reason why the walker is pretty relatively sturdy considering all the extra details and design that went into it. And then another amazing aspect of the walker has to be the side panels. Again, we went over how they interlock. It's basically the same mechanism for all of them, but you could see the combination of wedges. For example, we have the sandwich tile there and just other pieces that create a really seamless look. Now here is where the actual doors are. Another fantastic design about this walker is that the door seamlessly fits in with the rest of the outer shell. So here you have it, and you can tell by the left and right wedges here that connection, and that it's not even really a connection, it just sort of flows, it just sort of falls into place really well. So if you're looking at the walker, you would expect there to be no sort of divide. There's no obvious certainty that there is a hole or there is a gate here. But of course, when you actually do use it, it does seamlessly flow out fantastically. So again, that's just one of the ingenious designs about the walker. I think it's also one of my favorites is that the door just seamlessly fits in with the rest of the side panels. And of course, it really adds just another dimension of playability, which is always appreciated in custom models. Then getting on towards like the other panels, you can see there is a mix of dark bluish gray wedges and obviously the red ones. We do have again another panel here, another door. So there are 2 doors on either side for you to actually open and close. This is where the clones would board and then simultaneously get off of the walker if they're being deployed. So that's where they would go, and the doors are fantastic. I think just the seamless fit of the door into the side panel is by far one of the most impressive things about this model. And then again, if you wanted to go ahead and put on the back panel, which we have here, there is no sort of hard line connection. It just sort of falls into place really well, and it does fit amazing. So there you go. We have that. You lower the side panels on the side, and then if you want to go ahead and attach the front section right here, I'll pull that aside. Here we have that front turret. All you have to do is point the gun up a little bit to give it more room, sort of slide it underneath the front cockpit area, have it slide forward, and then put the panels down like so, and then you have a completed AT-TE walker. Trying to think of what else I could cover about the walker. I talked about the 2 top panels, I talked about the interior, the cockpit pulling out, the side panels, the doors, the legs. There really is nothing more to this build. I think it kind of speaks for itself. For those of you who really don't know how I review sets or Lego models, I really don't like sitting down and talking about it. I like to get everything out in a short amount of time as possible and basically give you guys a lot of information in a compressed time frame. And I think I did highlight everything I wanted to highlight with this walker. I think really the build, again, just speaks for itself. The build looks fantastic. It is one of the most detailed AT-TE walkers I've had. Everything from the seamless doors to the sturdy, well-built, and honestly aesthetically pleasing legs, to the fact that this walker can actually hold about 20 individual troopers and officers inside of it. This is definitely the way to go. If you're looking for an AT-TE walker, maybe if you're building your own Anaxes MOC or you're building something from the Clone Wars, this is definitely going to be the model that I would 100% recommend you use. So again, go ahead and support the creator David Buchholz's Flickr link link will be down below in the description. If any of you guys are interested in picking up the instructions and parts list for the ATTE Walker, you can head on over to brickvault.toys. Once again, huge thank you to David and the BrickVault team for letting me use this in my upcoming creation. Again, if you guys are not familiar with my channel here, definitely consider subscribing. I'm building a huge 6x4 gray MOC for Anaxes from the upcoming season 7 of the Clone Wars TV show coming up, so I think you guys are definitely going to want to see this reborn again in that MOC. With all that being said, everyone, thank you all so much for watching today's review of the ATTE Walker. I hope you all enjoyed. Definitely drop a like down below if you guys like the model. Let me know what you all think. I know there are plenty of other ATTE models, especially with the Lego set, so let me know how this one ranks in terms of the other ones out there. I'm very interested to see what you guys think about it. But until then, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see y'all later. Take it easy, fam. Peace.